Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint artist. I'm going to talk to my ladies with maturing skin. I am 41 and I have maturing skin. I've got fine lines, wrinkles, pores, texture. Here's a news flash. Skin is a texture and you can't accentuate it. You can still get the coverage you want with traditional makeups, but you're trading off by adding texture because powders add texture, and a lot of the makeups out there, they get set with a powder. Some of the makeups out there are powder. Try creams. Creams are amazing for maturing skin or even mature skin. So here it is. Seint Makeup 3D cream-based foundation. One layer of makeup, all the dimension and coverage you need without adding texture, without accentuating those fine lines and pores and wrinkles. So here we go. When you get color matched, I need a makeup-free selfie looking out a window a couple steps back. I will match you to a laundry list. The first 4 colors are always the basic setup. Your main foundation, which you will use 100% of all the makeup you get. Nothing's lost in a bottle anymore. Your brightening highlight like a concealer, contour, and blush, which is also a lip color. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I'm going to use the detail brush, great for contouring and adding your brightening. And then the blush and bronzer brush, great for blush. And then this right here is the magic tool that picks up excess product, marries everything together like magic. So the first thing I'm going to do is with the detail brush, I'm going to add my brightening with the small end. I'm going to tap in. I'm not going to wipe. I'm going to tap my brightening on, and I'm going to add this to the mid of my forehead between my brows. I'm going to bring it down my nose. So the trick with maturing skin is less is more. You don't need a lot of product. You can still get the coverage. Seint is 80% pigmentation, whereas traditional foundations are 18%. So you need less to get the same but better result. Because it's cream, it will live with your skin and it will look like a second skin. I'm just blending out my brightening, which is a shade or 2 lighter than my actual skin tone. And by adding it here, we're going to accentuate the beauty of a Cupid's bow. And right here, I'm just looking like I'm reflecting light. That's all that brightening is reflecting light. I'm taking my light tones, dark tones, shadow tones, all the tones, and I'm gonna put them all on in one layer and have dimension, and it's gonna be gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna go into my brightening one more time, and I'm gonna start under my trough. We all have this trough. We're gonna camouflage this soft tissue area. Less is more. You can accentuate all those fine lines and wrinkles you get around your eyes by adding too much product and by setting with powder. We don't have to do that. So I'm gonna start under the trough, and I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm just gonna tap it here, and I'm gonna bring it up right here. And this is gonna give my eye lift. This is gonna be brighter. It's gonna make me look like I got a full night's sleep, and it's gonna give me a youthful look. I'm gonna tap this, not wipe this, back and forth under my eye. I'm gonna switch to the big end, and I'm gonna blend this out, just like that. All I've done is added lift and brightness under my eye. Grab a little more, we're gonna go here again, starting under that trough. If I applied a brightener just to my soft tissue, it would accentuate and make it look like my eye is puffier than it is. And so by starting below, we're able to camouflage that puffy area and also hide those fine lines. I'm gonna switch to that big end, and I'm just gonna tap this out. I don't like to do a lot of movement under my eye, which is why I stipple. I don't wipe. I don't wanna mature the skin any more than it already is. All right, that's it for brightening. It looks like a reverse raccoon eye, but that's okay. We're gonna go into my contour next. I'm using the color Olive. I'm going into the big end of my detail brush, and I'm gonna go down on either side of my forehead. Now we have natural shadowing on our forehead, and so I'm just gonna use small circles, and I'm gonna blend those marks out to look like a shadow, and it's also giving me that foundational coverage I want that's gonna give me a seamless, beautiful forehead. It's that easy. The warmth of your skin makes this movable. I'm gonna take the lightness and I'm gonna push it in, and we're gonna have an evened out skin tone. We have dimension and coverage, and it looks natural like a second skin. It's so good. It's so good. And again, less is more because I get those lines on my forehead. If I put too much product on, they will settle in those areas. I added contour to the side again, and I'm just gonna stamp this on either side of my nose, just like that. Bring it down a bit. And this, I have a small bump on my nose, and this is a way I'm able to camouflage that, and I'm able to give my nose a little bit of dimensional structure. I'm gonna use this little end here, and I'm gonna push that contour into my brow like a natural shadow. And I'm just gonna stipple this up and down, just like this. Now, that brightening I put down my nose, I'm gonna use my finger just to tap it and blend it in with that contour for a nice seamless finish, using that little end of the brush just to give it a little extra blend, and that's it. My nose is structured. Isn't that pretty? And it looks natural. Okay, let's get to this side of the face because I am able to add lift without a doctor. So I'm going to push into that contour on the side. I have shadowing and I have a cheekbone. I'm going to hug that cheekbone right here and I'm going to add a curve. And this is going to give me lift. I have an angle on my brush. I'm pushing on to that bone. And do you see how it's already structured this side of my face up? Contour is a pretty incredible thing. And this is the easiest makeup you'll ever use. I'm going to take what's left on the brush. I'm going to push this up in front of my earlobe and down my jaw. I'm just taking what's left of that shadow color and adding structure and slimming down my jawline. I'm just pulling this down like a shadow. All right, now we're going to go into the foundation. We're finally going to do some foundation. And I'm going to push this onto the brush, not a lot. And I am going to pop this right down here. I'm going to blend this in and I'm going to stipple this up here. I have a little bit of discoloration in this area, so I'm just stippling this over, bringing it to the crease where I smile in my nose. I don't like to add cream directly to that area just because there's movement there and it can gather. I'm going to push that into the brightness I've applied here and here. I'm going to sweep this out and I'm going to give it a nice, seamless, flawless finish. And again, one layer of makeup, just like that. I'm going to switch to my blush and bronzer. I'm going to go into Madrid, which is the blush color I'm using. Now, because I have maturing skin, the apples of my cheeks have broken down a bit. So I'm going to start up here at the top, above that contour, and I'm going to stipple this down. I'm going to drape it up, but I'm going to smile and bring it down because when I smile, I can see where my apples are. And I'm just going to fade it and blend it down. That way, when I'm not smiling, I don't have circus circles on my cheeks. But you see how blending this in has blended down that contour because I under blended my contour so that when I add my mane and my blush, it didn't blend it away. It's still doing what it needs to do. And you see this beautiful structure. It's added to my face. It's natural, it's beautiful, it's warm, it's even with dimension. I'm gonna take the fluffy end and I'm gonna sweep this out and I'm gonna give everything a final blend. I like to stipple this right here, just like that. Look at that. All right, let's do the other side. Let's show how quick this can go. I'm gonna put that contour on the side. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna add that structure onto the cheek by keeping that angle and doing a curve. Okay, add a little more. Just you build until it's where you want it. And again, I'm under blending this. I'm gonna get that jawline going in front of the earlobe. That's important. And then down the jawline. I'm gonna go into my main highlight, my foundation, put some on. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna blend this in the middle, stipple this up here into the creasing area, into that brightening area, and just over like that, just like that. This makeup will save you time. You're not digging in a bag anymore, looking for that one tiny bottle. Everything's in one place, which is so convenient. It's TSA approved, easy for travel. It's a good makeup and it all fits right here. Your tiles are small, but because you need such little product, it will last just as long as those bottle foundations you use, if not longer. And I'm just keeping it up here, draping it up, and then bringing it down to the apple. I'm gonna take it to that fluffy end, sweep it out, stipple it right here, and that's it. Look at how easy that is. That's how easy it is. So as we mature, keep in mind, I don't need to set this with a powder. I'm gonna set it with setting spray. I like Charlotte Tilbury. It's a more matte finish. I also have very oily skin. And so with the Seint setting spray, if you have dry skin, it's great. If you have combination, it's great. But if you have oily skin, it can just be a little too shiny. And so I like using Charlotte Tilbury. Everybody's skin is different. Find what works for you. All right, as we mature, our lips get thinner. Happens to all of us. And so I'm gonna take some of that contour and I'm gonna fill my lips up without a doctor. I'm gonna add a soul patch and then I'm gonna put a little bit more on my Cupid's bow, just pulling it down over my lip right here. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a shadow. I'm giving the illusion that my lip has a curl. Do you see how it just looks a little fuller up here? I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna push it back and forth and it's gonna create a shadow that looks like my lip has a curl. Okay, I'm gonna go to a multitasker brush, this guy right here. This is great for everything, eyeshadows and lips. I'm gonna line my lips with my contour like this. I'm going to line my bottom lip like this. And then I'm going to take my cheek color and I'm going to fill it in. And by adding that shadow, that soul patch, and that bit over the Cupid's bow, it gives your lips this really pretty curl that keeps them looking natural and beautiful and full without overlining your lips, because everybody knows when you overline your lips. But that's the makeup. This is a nice, natural, everyday look. Another trick for your under eyes, if you have a lot of texture under there, take your setting spray, take the short end of the brush, and give it a spray. Just one little spray. Gonna let it dry just a smidge. And you're gonna tap that under your eye. And adding that setting spray under your eye will keep it set and keep it from creasing without adding powder, because powder adds texture. That's it. If you want to try this makeup, which you do, message me and we can get you started. Have a great day.